Today on Sugar's Fun Run, I'll be showing you how to make browned butter. Hey everyone, Sam here, and today I'm really excited to be showing you how to make brown butter. Now, this is a super simple technique that anybody can do at home, but I know some of you have mentioned you're a little intimidated by browning butter, you've never done it before, so I'm going to be walking you through the steps today. Believe me, it's actually very easy. Now, the first thing you're going to want to grab is a medium-sized saucepan, and let's go ahead and head over to our stovetop. Now, one quick note about the saucepan is I always like to use a light colored saucepan. As you can see, I'm using my stainless steel one today. I love cast iron, but I never use cast iron because that has a dark or black bottom, and it's almost impossible to tell when the butter is browning, and that visual cue is so important to knowing when your brown butter is finished. Now, today we're going to be browning 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter. Now, of course, you can scale up this recipe and brown more, or you can scale it down and do less, that's fine. I'm just gonna add these to my saucepan. Turn your stovetop heat to low or medium low, and we're just going to let that butter melt slowly. Don't crank up the heat yet, because then you're going to start browning it prematurely. Now, when you're browning butter, I don't recommend using a metal utensil like a metal spoon, and that's just because the handle tends to get really hot while you're working with that hot butter in the skillet. I like to use a heat-proof utensil like a rubber spatula, a rubber heat-proof spatula, or a wooden spoon, or even a whisk that has an insulated handle. Once your butter has completely melted, you'll want to turn your stovetop heat to just above medium heat. Keep stirring occasionally while your butter heats up. Pretty soon your butter should start bubbling and popping. Now at this point, you're going to want to start stirring pretty much constantly. Just keep swirling your spatula or your spoon through the butter and make sure you're scraping the sides and bottom of your saucepan so that the butter doesn't start to burn. Just keep stirring while your butter sizzles and pops. Whatever you do, do not walk away from your butter while it's browning. That is the easiest way to burn it. Now, this is sizzling and popping because we are cooking the water out of our butter. Most butter has about 15 to 20% water, and we're cooking this out of our butter, enriching it, and then ultimately we'll be browning those milk solids that are found in the butter. That is what gives this butter such a good flavor when it's finished cooking. Once the sizzling and popping starts to slow down, this is when you really need to be careful and keep an eye on your butter. Now at this point, you're going to be looking for that butter to start to be turning brown. So you see we have some foam here. I'm just trying to, as I'm swirling my spatula through the butter, I'm just looking for any sign that it's starting to turn brown. We have a little bit of brown here. I'm just gonna take this just a little bit further. All right, if you can see that, it's nice and brown, so we want to immediately remove it from the heat. Now, this saucepan is really hot, so if you leave your brown butter in the saucepan, it's going to keep cooking and could even end up burning your butter. So what I recommend is as soon as you remove that saucepan from the heat, immediately pour your butter into a heat-proof bowl. That'll stop it from cooking, and it's going to keep you from burning your butter. And make sure you scrape all of those brown bits out of your saucepan, because that is what gives this butter such a good flavor. Now at this point, all that's left to do is wait for the butter to cool, and then you can use it in any recipe that calls for browned butter. Like I said, this is one of my all-time favorite techniques to really take any baked good to the next level. Brown butter has such a good flavor, and your house is gonna smell amazing when you're finished making it. That is how simple it is to make brown butter at home. If you guys try this one out, please let me know what you think. Let me know if this video was helpful to you today. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.